Good morning, good evening, good night, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Um, Sorry, it took me a minute there. I had some things to take care of this morning before I got going because we're on that trial that never happened with the lovely Hayden. Um, so we're making it work. I am joined by a very special guest today. Miss Impish Anu.
I got kicked out.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was like, "What? What the hell is? What happened?"
I don't know. Figured, fine. You don't want me on your show? Fine.
No, StreamYard's been funny. Um, I don't know what's going on with it, but they need to fix it pretty quickly. Um, Something of note, some breaking news, real quick. It appears that a Boeing 737-300 series crashed in. Hang on. Crashed in Ravensthorpe, Australia. A firefighting Boeing 737 belonging to Coulson Aviation has crashed near Ravensthorpe, Western Australia. It was involved in an operation to fight a brush fire at the Fitzgerald River National Park. So both are in critical condition. It crashed from an altitude of 675 feet. Two pilots are alive for now, but are in critical condition. So that was breaking as I was about to go live, so I thought I'd let y'all know about it. So, oh, they actually have a video. Is this a sim or is this a video? I can't tell. Yeah, nobody wants to see that. It was circling, getting ready to drop some water, and it crashed. So, I can actually show this. We're just all sorts of sidetracked today. I was really hoping that trial would work out, but
I'm supposed to keep you on track.
no, y'all screw with me so much. So here's the flight path. So it went across, was doing loops to drop water or help with firefighting duties, and it crashed right about here. And this is the plane in question. Coulson. I like Collusion better. Coulson Fireliner. So unfortunate, but it happens. And that's kind of what.
The best thing you can say is that there were no passengers on board.
Right. So that's how they work. If you're unfamiliar with firefighting planes, they drop water or fire suppression material, not always water. Pretty cool machines, but they do some really odd maneuvering due to their application. So I think that's enough of that. Let's talk about Gettysburg.
Learn us something.
Let's learn us. Gettysburg has always fascinated me. I got the opportunity to visit Gettysburg, which was really cool. One thing that I'll say about Gettysburg is it is eerie. You can feel the history when you go. It's an odd thing, but you can certainly feel the history when you go.
I used to go there a lot as a kid.
Oh, okay.
Well, because I grew up in Maryland.
Gotcha.
So the Smithsonian and just general battlegrounds around the area were big.
Yeah.
Little weekend trips.
There's a lot around that area. As far as the history, obviously that's where America kind of developed, and a lot of this stuff happened. So these are some of my photos from Gettysburg. There isn't I mean, there isn't much as far as landmark, but it's just the feeling you get. So there's field, house that I don't remember what it was for. Somebody lived there at one time, probably. A lot of cannons, a lot of really cool cannons. We contemplated, taking one home with us, but then, national parks, we would
Yeah, you
probably
get in trouble.
a little bit. I don't remember who
Did you
this.
find any relics?
So I actually bought a bullet, and I was going to show that.
Oh, they're all over the place. You can find them in the grass. If you have like a metal detector?
Seriously? Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh. I didn't know
I
that.
mean, at least they used to allow metal detectors. I don't know if things have changed, but
No, that's really cool. I wish I would have known that before we went. So there's a cannon. Cannons are pretty cool. So there were a lot of cannons. Oh, that's my never mind, I can't say it, it's noon. That's a chicken.
daytime
Potentially
streaming.
the chicken from the Murdoch case. I don't know. Could be.
We're not talking about Murdoch.
God, that case is so boring. That's why we tried to redirect, but we failed.
Yeah, Greedy had said he felt sorry for Hayden. I feel sorry for Hayden too.
What about Meaty?
He was trying
Meaty was
so hard.
excited. Meaty stayed up with Hayden until 3 o'clock this morning to try and get stuff around for that trial. What about the Meaty? What about the Meaty one, huh?
Okay, I feel sorry for Meaty too.
No, you don't. Don't lie.
No, I don't. Sorry. Not sorry.
And that was Impish's world debut, and she'll be leaving now. No,
Aren't
feel
you the
sorry
one
for
who
Hayden.
normally leaves the stream?
Hey, I did that one time, and it was deserved. I told him I was leaving.
Mm-hmm.
This part you guys don't understand. I told him he was leaving. I was leaving. So let's say hi to everybody and get into it. Impish, good to see you. Back to first. You were taking some time off from being first, allowing other people, parody.
No, I wasn't allowing anything.
Snafu, good to see you, buddy. Mystic, good to see you. Belandris. Nobody. Belandris is first.
Excuse me?
He said he's cutting in line. Who's going to argue?
Oh, well, yeah, there's that. He's big.
He is a big guy. What's up, Sleazy? The mightiest of all the meats. What's up, Greedy? Good to see you, buddy.
You know, you have to thank Belandris. No, because he helped me with StreamYard.
Oh, okay. I can't do that. It's against my programming.
No, you have to say that.
Why are you not green here? I don't have membership, Stevie, because I'm not big enough yet. But soon, hopefully. Linda, good to see you. Who else we got? Vicky T, good morning. Yeah, I do as well. So, yeah, he, for an hour stream, well, maybe I shouldn't say, he made out. He did really well this morning. Yeah, the guy pled guilty 5 minutes before the trial was slated to begin. So, which is good, I guess, but I wanted to see the trial. It was really interesting. So, Dance Biker Dance, lurking around the corner, being a creeper.
We know what you wanted made.
Dance, I I sent you something in the post. Let me know if you get it or when you get it. It'll probably take a while. So, yeah. So there we go. Dance and his countryman greedy talking. So,
Yeah, what's this? I hear you have dedications to me that you haven't shared.
me?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Greedy sent you something?
Oh, I haven't checked my email. You know that.
Oh, God.
I saw it, but I haven't checked it yet. He knows that I haven't checked it.
Well, they're for me, so check it.
Oh. Okay.
Demanding.
Yeah, I figured it takes a while. Greedy, you know I'm not going to read it for at least another week. Like, you know my time frame. Let's not play, buddy. What's up, Kizzy? No, we actually just got going here, So I figured we'd start with the famous address by the former president, Abraham Lincoln.
No.
Why?
You need to find out how much chat knows.
Chat doesn't know anything. You always consider that they're just barely smart enough to hit the like button.
You're horrible.
I know. Chat knows I love them. So what does anybody know about Gettysburg? Anybody have any... Have you been there? Or anybody have anything to add or anything like that?
Over 51,000 men died in a 3-day period. 30,000 of them were injured severely.
Yeah.
And worst, over 5,000 horses died.
Wow. I didn't know the horses thing.
Yeah, over 5,000 horses.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's in the notes you sent me.
Yes, it is.
So Gettysburg
3-day
took place.
bloodbath.
Yeah. Took place between July 1st and July 4th, 1863. It was the highest casualties during the Civil War. 16 decades later, ghosts still roam its grounds. I completely agree with that statement. It is an eerie feeling. You can feel the history.
You deal with facts. I deal with the lore. And I did send you pictures of, it's called A Harvest of Death, which is the famous photo.
Okay.
Which is bloated bodies that are laying on the ground.
Okay.
And you can see what people really thought of this war because the bodies were robbed. They were disheveled.
Wow.
They were laying there for days.
Wow.
And I also sent you a picture of the dead horses.
Okay. Yeah. I'll bring those up in just a second here. I'm reading like I should have earlier.
And Steve's saying he has some coins from that time, I think.
Oh, that's cool, Stevie.
Steve visited when he was a kid.
Wow. Damn, that's crazy. All right, let me...
Linda's saying they do a reenactment. I know that the Boy Scouts still go to the grounds, or at least they did as of a few years ago. After COVID, I don't know what's changed. Grounds. No, Sleazy, I'm not a Jew.
Sleazy's just hoping he finds more like-minded people that are like him.
I know.
And there isn't anybody like Sleazy. He's one of a kind. One of a kind. Oh, that looks like that house that I took a picture of. It's a bigger version.
You didn't even look at the photos I sent you?
Dear.
Yeah, I know. Unprepared.
let me tell you something.
Sleazy.
All my effort went into that damn trial that didn't happen. So,
Well, that should teach you. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
well, I generally don't, but I was trying to help my little furry friend, and you know, things happen. Boy Scouts got
Apologize.
by the commies. What's this organization? Well, you can be a Boy Scout even if you're a girl now, but we're not going to talk about that.
No, we're not talking about that. But can you be a Girl Scout if you're a boy?
I believe so. Yeah.
We are so
Well,
off
yeah,
topic.
a speech, but not an address. Right. But they call it. I mean, it's obviously titled the Gettysburg Address. I actually got a reproduction of it while I was there.
Yeah, and pretty soon nobody's going to be able to read it because everybody's forgotten how to read cursive.
Not gonna lie, I picked it up, and I mean, I can absolutely read cursive, but picked it up like the actual one, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna find this online, and went online. So,
Mm-hmm. Shame on you. Yes, this is a picture of the dead horses.
damn,
And what they
Dance,
did was they just piled them up.
Dance Biker coming in hot, hot. Whoa, buddy, good show. You visited there when you were a kid. I remember us beating this country called Great Britain twice. And then when Great Britain was being overtaken by the Germans, the U.S. came in and saved you. So,
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about that, though.
yeah, we can talk about that.
No, they get upset when we talk about that.
Nah.
Hi,
No
Wild.
cursing before friends. Yeah, that trial is. Anyways. Um. Yep. No, you said it. What's up, Wild Red? It is impish. So, all right, we're gonna stay on task here for 5 seconds. So these are dead horses littering the landscape, which is sad. What's this picture?
It's dead horses.
No, this one.
Well, move one. Oh, that's actually more to do with the hauntings because that's what I looked into. And that
Oh.
is called Devil's Den.
Hmm.
And Devil's Den is an area of the battlefield that saw heavy fighting on day 2.
Gotcha. Okay. Who's this lady?
Oh, that is one of the first. Oh, is that one of the casualties? I believe she is. That should be Mary Virginia Jenny Wade. She was technically, you'll love this one, she's technically the first drive-by shooting. She wanted out of harm's way, so she went to her sister's house on Baltimore Street because the forces were battling in her town.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Union Army retreated, they ended up going right by her house, or right by her sister's house. And they ended up taking over, and they kind of commandeered the house. And she spent her time baking bread for them, and showing being hospitable to them and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And a stray Confederate bullet came through the parlor door. I think it went through 2 doors, passed through her back into her heart while she was mixing dough.
Wow.
She's the only civilian killed during the battle, and she is one of only 2 women who have a U.S. flag flying at her grave 24/7.
Wow.
You know who the other woman is?
No.
Betsy Ross.
Gotcha. Huh. That's kind of neat.
See, I did my homework.
Fantastic. I wonder if I can watch this video without getting totally screwed. Yeah, we'll go for it. After. These are the individuals that unfortunately died. As she was talking about it, it was horrific. Um, not only did you have brothers fighting brothers and family split, and I mean it was one of the most the most bloody battles probably in American history. Um, just
Well,
terrific.
that one right there, if you look at the photo,
Mm-hmm.
you see all the debris by his hand?
Yeah.
That's all of his stuff out of his pockets. I couldn't find a really good picture of it without a whole bunch of crap on it,
All right.
but they're barefoot. Or not barefoot, but they're in their socks. Their boots
Okay.
were literally stolen off their feet.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how well they treated the dead.
So they were just robbed and you know
Yeah.
and just
And
I
yeah,
mean
Greedy,
just
I do think that was Elizabeth Sally. I couldn't see the top there, but if Meaty goes two more, you'll see the person I was describing. I'm sorry, Meaty. I was
no,
talking
you're
about the
fine.
wrong woman.
There we go. Man, that hair took some time though.
Hmm. You can go back to
Um,
him in a minute. That's the woman who was shot in the back while she was
okay.
baking bread. Sorry about that.
So this is the ghetto woman.
I'm sorry?
The ghetto woman. First
Yeah.
drive by. Yeah.
Yeah.
That inappropriate. I'm sorry.
No, that's what I put down in my notes. I'm literally like, I mean, technically, if you think about it, the poor woman's inside her house just baking bread and straight bullet comes through the window or through the door or whatever.
Making a sandwich like she should have been and gets screwed over by it.
Meaty.
That's sad.
We're not
Yes,
going
dear.
there. We're not going there. Go back one because the other guy, he's cool.
Okay. This dude, he's got a big gun.
Yeah. That is John Lawrence Burns, born in New Jersey in 1793. And he's
Okay.
of Scottish ancestry. Okay. He was kick ass because at age 69, he grabbed his musket and his powder and walked out of town to fight besides the U.S. troops. Day one.
Wow.
70 years old. He's like, yo, I'm going to help you out.
And
He was
you know,
actually a War of 1812 veteran.
um, I'm gonna address one thing and then just Kizzy, you are welcome to vent anytime, buddy. And I'm I forget if you're a man or woman, it doesn't matter. Uh, you are absolutely welcome to vent, and I appreciate you being here. And you're welcome here anytime for any reason. So don't ever feel bad or you know anything like that. Like vent away, please. And I
What am I
appreciate you
missing?
being here. So
What did I miss?
nothing. We're good. Kizzy is a tragic
Okay.
woman. Okay. Uh, then yes, you are always welcome here. Always welcome here for any reason. So excuse me. So this is one of those things that here's where I go into one of my rants. Everybody's all up in arms, and you know the country is we're in a bad spot. Like there's no denying that. There's no sugarcoating that. the The problem is people don't understand what went on here, and
Mhm.
that's some of this battle that we're going to highlight, and you know maybe maybe we should have conversations and talk to each other, because when and if we start fighting a second civil war, this is what kind of stuff happens. It gets messy. People die. Um, it gets unconscionable. Um,
Well, and you can't wait for somebody else to fight your battle for you.
right. And that's something that we're not prepared to do. Like the
Nope.
millennials and Gen Zs and stuff, they have no idea and no skill to be able to do it. So it would be absolute hell for everyone involved. Absolute hell.
Well, you got to
Um,
think the demographics of what fought in these type of battles back then
mhm,
was going to be anywhere from 15 to, as you see, 70 years old.
right.
And kids were fighting.
Yeah.
What we consider kids today, kids were fighting. And they did it with pride.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine a 15-year-old signing up and saying, yeah, give me a gun, I want to go fight for my country?
Not even in the least. I can't imagine half the 25-year-olds saying, "Give me a gun and I'm gonna go fight for what I believe in." Um,
No, I mean, as long as the power's on, their cable's running, they have their internet, everybody's happy.
Fat and happy. As long as you're fat and happy. If anything
Yep.
disrupts your fat and happy, then it could become more of an issue. But uh, that's why the powers that be and the people in charge can pretty much do whatever they want, because they know that nobody's ever gonna react in a meaningful way. But the the Civil War was absolutely horrific, and it wasn't it wasn't a it wasn't an experience that I want to be a part of ever.
Snafu, be nice.
He's being nice.
Well, I'm just saying, we know what it was really about. We're talking about the people, not the politics.
Right. Well, and slavery, all good and stuff, but it was more about taxes and states' rights than it was anything else.
It was.
So,
History is told by those who technically win the battles. So the South looks like assholes who wanted to.
hey,
Oh, sorry.
Asia. No,
You said I was allowed to slip once.
Yep. No,
So there was my once.
Um,
But no, there's a narrative that's being played out.
right. Well, there's always nothing is as it seems, and that's one thing I've tried to teach you guys with the science stuff is it's not what you're taught in school, and a lot of things are that way. School teaches you, if we're giving them any credit whatsoever, which is hard to do anymore. School teaches you just the basics of stuff that's watered down and able to be absorbed by the mass of the population. You have to think that they have to make it so that people can digest it that are not very intelligent, like people that post on TikTok and things of that nature. So, like, you gotta make it simpler. Yeah, they just teach concepts. They don't teach. Nothing is very concrete, and very little is accurate, or honest, which is
No, it's 1984.
Well, yeah.
They want to play the game and it changes.
Well, it's 2023. You're not a teenager anymore, dear.
No, it's 1984.
That was a good joke.
No, it's not. It's not. We're living in 1984.
That was a good
Hey,
joke.
Dawn.
Hey, just Dawn.
That's my girl. I gotta say hi to her.
I think she's still with Levy, so he'll be in a minute.
No, I'm gonna steal her away from Levy.
Oh, really? Tell me more. On the night show.
No, we're not. Let me finish up with this guy. No, go back. Go back
you
to
were
him.
done with the guy.
No, you cut me off. No, you don't want to see her yet. Go back to him.
I'm on him.
Well, my screen is showing her.
Are you
So
watching the damn stream? Don't watch the stream. Watch
I
on
know you're behind.
StreamYards.
Well, no, I'm trying to do it on my computer so I can keep up with chat. Okay, so
Chat's in here,
Mr.
sweetheart.
Burns, shush. Okay, I'm not good at this multitasking tech stuff. Shush. Mr. Burns became a national hero. After suffering wounds, he actually went home to his own house, which was now occupied by Confederate soldiers. But they kind of left him alone because, he's an old man and he had some injuries.
Okay.
But he was the first resident that Lincoln wanted to meet because he was doing some kind of dedication that November. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was right now.
Okay.
But Mr. Burns actually walked with Lincoln down to the Presbyterian Church on Baltimore Street.
Wow.
And sadly, Mr. Burns died in 1872 from pneumonia.
Huh.
But history tells us that he probably was suffering from PTSD.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So one of the first cases of PTSD.
I mean,
I just thought that
hell,
was kind of interesting.
Yeah. No, it was very much so. But okay. So, pro tip: are you in the StreamYard?
No, I'm trying to keep my eye on the phone. But I'm so used to looking at the computer screen. So just hush. I'll get
No,
better.
I'm just trying to help you. So everything's in StreamYard. So the
I see that.
chat, the images, all that stuff. Don't be Val and watch the stream because then you're behind by a lot.
I'm boomering, okay? Leave me alone.
Yeah. But the stream is intentionally behind so you can do certain things if needed. So yeah. No, I'll check it in just a second here, Stevie. I appreciate it. What the hell is a lost causer? I don't know. Who said lost causer? Snafu confuses me most of the time. All right, we got to move on.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Is he mishearing my my accent?
Probably. He's from Florida. He's a Florida man. So.
All right, now this check. And see, what I concentrated on was not so much the battle because I figured that's what you would be doing. So I was picking civilians, and technically, this is the most innocent of civilians. Now, there was a place, and it was called the Homestead Orphanage.
Okay.
And the orphanage had over 20,000 children that had been left homeless or parentless by this war. And it opened to provide shelter and care for the kids. And at first, when it opened really, they were getting the best care, the best food, good clothing. They were actually given an education. So it was a really good thing. And then Miss Rosa Carmichael became headmistress. And she was mean and vindictive and cruel. And she locked these children into outhouses. She tied them to fences. She starved them. She put them into frigid barrels of well water. Now, people who live in the city, they may not realize this, but well water, it's really cold. It's not like the water that comes out from your tap and you got to wait for it to kind of chill up before you can get a glass. It's really cold. And she'd stick these kids into well water. She'd chain them to cellar walls, just the whole gambit. For 9 years, she terrorized these kids.
Wow.
And what had happened was one of the kids she forgot about. And he actually kind of got loose. He was locked in the outhouse, I believe. And he kind of got loose. And so they were investigated. And she was charged. She was dismissed as headmistress. She was charged with CA.
Okay.
And guess what her punishment was?
What's that?
She was fined $20.
I mean, $20 back then would have been a lot of money.
But still, how many children did she kill? How many children died at her hands?
Right. Right.
And that's what she got. She got a fine. And she left
Yeah.
Gettysburg, and nobody ever heard from her again.
Huh.
Yeah. So it was pretty bad. But those were the most innocent of the civilian casualties of the war. So that's why I included them. And she's kind of the one in the back there. It's not a very good picture, but there's literally no pictures of her that I could find.
Right. Yeah. No, they get tough to find. Oh, hang on. Oh, I can't switch over. Never mind. I'm talking to myself. Ready for the next one, dear?
I don't know what the next one is now.
The house.
That is. Oh, let me see. I'm blind as a bat without my glasses. No, I'm kidding. Okay, this is getting into the haunting. I don't know if you want to cover more of the actual battle and skirmishes before we get into the haunting. But this is
Yeah.
called the Daniel Lady Farm.
Okay.
And this is actually, I did a couple little hauntings because although Gettysburg is a tourist attraction for its battle, it's actually a tourist attraction also because it is one of the most haunted places in America.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, we'll get into the battle part, and then I'll let you go on about the haunting, and we'll bring it back up.
Okay.
Is this the same or different?
Pretty much everything left has to do with the hauntings.
Okay. So we'll cut that there, and then we'll go back to that. What's up, Pete Beaver over on Rumble?
That's the orphanage right there, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, are you ignoring Rumble chat? I'm distracting you?
No. Rumble chat isn't terribly active. Well, I'm ignoring Belandris, but other than that, I'm paying attention to everybody.
What else is new?
So, ladies and gentlemen, our lovely Stevie sent in it's a Indian head penny from 1862, a really cool freaking piece. Oh, please don't be bad. Oh, good. It's just the back. And then that's the back of it. I think it's a beautifully designed penny. I have a couple of Indian heads, but none from 62. So that place bleeds dread. Yeah, absolutely it does. It's if you've never been, I highly suggest it. It is an odd feeling all the way around. So you definitely get what happened there. Now we're gonna look at some battle maps, and then we'll get into the battle, and then we'll get into the fun stuff. Shit. And shoot. See, now you got me screwed up. Oh, that's.
See, I didn't do that this time. That was you.
So this is the Gettysburg campaign in its totality from June 3rd to July 3rd, 1863. And it shows the movement of troops. A lot of them came from Virginia up. I don't know why you didn't fight in Virginia instead of Gettysburg, but a lot of things.
Well, the reason they did that was because they were trying. The Confederate Army actually had a pretty strong hold, from what I understand, in most of the battles. And they were thinking that if they could, because at one point there was almost like a talk, like, pardon me, the North and the South kind of splitting off, like each would be its own separate country.
Right.
And the Confederate Army felt if they could push far enough inwards to the North's territory, they would break the will of the North, and the South would be its own country with its own thing. So that's why they kept pushing northwards.
Yeah.
At least that's my understanding.
Okay. And Wild Red, Virginia was the most populous state at the time. Right. And you had Washington, D.C., and all that stuff is in this general area. It's a very populated and really seat of government area still to this day. So it makes sense. Damn it. There's the other one. I like this map a little bit better. So it has the Union troops, and this is more focused just on Gettysburg. And then you had the Confederate troops. So
Let's see, we're not going to talk about how much history is being erased right now, including monuments. And
well, yeah, I mean,
yeah, we can't talk about that. Susan will get mad.
History's racist, so of course. So you have a lot of skirmishes and battles that happen around Gettysburg, and if you go to Gettysburg, they do a pretty good job showing you around this American battlefield. The American Battlefield Trust has a lot of information about it and does a pretty good job preserving it. So you have a bunch of the different places. So I'm in the deep south of field trips, Voodoo historical sites, plantations, and one of the Exxon plants. Huh. Yeah, well, the South was really up against it. If it had been a fair fight, I think it would have gone differently. I'll just say that much. But it really wasn't. I'm going to try to watch this without getting copyright struck, because I think it does a fantastic job. And it has the battlefield. It's called the Battlefield Interactive Map or animated map. So we are transforming this content. We're using it for educational and historic purposes. And please don't strike me. God, I don't want to get struck again.
You lie.
Preserve, educate, and inspire. That's exactly what we're doing right now. Linda, we're about to have a fight if you keep challenging my authority. I love you, Linda. Linda thinks that I actually hate her because she's actually being mean to me. I'm just messing with you.
June 1863. 200,000 are dead, and the Civil War is barely half over. Now, General Robert E. Lee aims to move the war from Virginia and win a major battle in the North.
So one of the things is, again, that we're talking pre-cars. We didn't have cars. We didn't have aircraft. We didn't have any of that. You walked from Virginia to Pennsylvania, and that is a long walk. I wouldn't walk it.
I would.
He hopes to stoke the fire of a growing peace movement. His 75,000-man Army of Northern Virginia moves swiftly into south-central Pennsylvania. Union General George Gordon Meade and his 95,000-strong Army of the Potomac moves toward Lee. Lee concentrates his army where 10 roads converge.
Gettysburg technically fought over a shoe factory? I have no idea. I don't know. Do you have any input on it being fought over a shoe factory?
Yes, somehow I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. If you have more information on that, Red, I'll read it. Send it to me in Discord.
Gettysburg. Lee's move north will spark the largest battle in American history. It will last for 3 days.
Wow.
Actually, I think it was fought over vampires in the
The
South.
battle starts west of Gettysburg. Union General John Buford's cavalrymen shoot at lead elements of Confederate General Henry Heath's division before falling back as Heath advances.
So now we're starting to get, fighting, and the Union's getting pushed back towards Gettysburg. So it started outside of Gettysburg, Buford Hess area, and it's getting pushed back.
Buford holds near Gettysburg until General John Reynolds' First Corps arrives. Infantry against infantry, fighting intensifies on both sides of the Chambersburg Pike. As the highest-ranking Union officer on the
Thanks,
field,
Vicky.
Major General John Reynolds escalates the battle as he desperately tries to support Buford. While ordering a Wisconsin regiment forward, he is shot in the back of the neck and killed.
Wow, that would hurt. I have one of those bullets. I'll show you in just a second. But I haven't figured out how to do it effectively.
Just as the battle begins to escalate, Confederate General Robert Rhodes' division arrives on Oak Hill. Though his division is twice the size of his opponent, Rhodes' initial attacks are poorly coordinated and repulsed. Then, General Jubal Early's division arrives from the northeast. Despite Union reinforcements, Rhodes and Early managed to break their right flank.
It seems like the Union, from all I've read throughout, not just this battle, but other battles in history, was not very well organized. They had the advantage in, many things, but organization did not seem to be their strong suit. So, shit. Mike. Which is surprising, because they supposedly had the better tacticians and generals and stuff like that. But I don't know that that's true.
Yankees are fighting a losing battle on the left, too.
Damn, Yankees.
After a savage firefight in Herbst Woods, they fall back to Seminary Ridge. Cannons and small arms blast the attacking rebels, reinforced by Dorsey Pender's division. But numbers come to bear, and the Union line collapses. Some escape via an unfinished railroad bed. Others are trapped in Gettysburg streets. The defeated Yankees reform on Cemetery Hill, where General Howard has left a brigade and an array of cannons. The Confederates probe, but do not attack. It was one of the bloodiest days of the war, but the worst was yet to come. By the afternoon, the Confederates have wrapped around the Union position, which now resembles a giant fishhook. But the Federals occupy the high ground, and General Meade's interior lines will allow him to easily reinforce threatened sectors.
It's a beautiful day, and I feel...
I'm not singing me.
In the afternoon, Union General Dan Sickles moves his Third Corps to the Peach Orchard and the Emmitsburg Road, where he thought he could better use his artillery. But this creates a lengthy bulge in the Union line, and Sickles lacks the men to defend it. General Meade is forced to send his entire Fifth Corps and parts of others to reinforce Sickles, opening gaps in his center and on his right. General Lee orders Longstreet to make the main attack upon the Union left. General Hill is to threaten the center, and General Ewell is to assault the Union right. Longstreet's divisions under John Bell Hood and Lafayette McLaws line up on Seminary Ridge, along with Richard Anderson's division of Hill's Corps, ready to make the assault.
Unless their name
It is one of the
Vegas.
hottest days of the year. Advancing under a hail of fire, Hood's brigades commingle and split apart. Some slamming the 3rd Corps troops at Devil's Den, while others assault Little Round Top, where just arrived 5th Corps soldiers await them. Both sides send in reinforcements. Control of Devil's Den changes hands 3 times. Alabama.
So that's what you're talking about from that picture, and they just went back and forth, giving it back and forth to each other, which is interesting.
See, I do my homework.
Yeah.
And Linda, it's not just the blood, the bodies that were laying there. It's not like anybody was picking bodies up and moving them off the battlefield. The
Right.
stench from the decomp
Would have
and
been
infection.
horrific.
Yeah, and the infection. Yeah, the rot.
Because it was everywhere. Like everybody had some kind of.
Well, it
horrible
gets
infection.
into my haunting, but I don't think a lot of people realize that the bullets that they were using at this period of time, they actually caused an extreme amount of damage. So when you were shot,
Yeah.
most likely it was shattered. Whatever was hit was shattered, and the field surgeons would actually amputate. So it's
Yeah.
like if you're shot in the arm, you're losing your arm because there's basically nothing left of it.
And it's not clean, and they're amputating the arm with not clean, with terrible equipment, and it was
So the
nasty.
infection, the rot, the body parts strewn on the ground, the blood.
Yeah, it would
We're
have
talking
been,
about July on the East Coast.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That
we're
is-
talking stench.
Yeah, it would have been pretty disgusting. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get the camera because I can't.
What?
Yeah, I was trying to do something else, but it's not gonna work. So I'm gonna play
And the
it.
bugs, yes, Vicky, the bugs.
Bugs. Yeah, all kinds of infection, all kinds of critters, all kinds of everything. It would
Bye,
have been.
Greedy. See you later.
Bye, Greedy. Have a good day, buddy. Enjoy your dinner, because we know that's where you're going.
Alabama and Texas soldiers charge Little Round Top again and again, but fall back. At last, a bayonet charge by Maine troops sends the exhausted attackers back for good. The Union's extreme left flank is secure. Meade scrambles reinforcements from the 2nd and 5th Corps to support Sickles. As McLaw's Confederate division enters the fray, the action shifts toward the peach orchard, which falls quickly. The fight for the wheat field nearby is less decisive, changing hands 6 times in some of the battle's bloodiest combat. Hood and McLaw.
Like it did. Like it was one hell of a fight because they just kept going back and forth with stuff, you know. Like, and that's how war works. But usually, with that many troops, it's hard to imagine. It just kept, following back and forth.
Well, I'd rather be shot with a bullet today than one back then. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. I was going to compare it to something. I could go grab them.
Did I distract you?
You absolutely distracted me.
I'm sorry.
Hang on. I can play the video for another second.
Us men push on toward Cemetery Ridge, joined by part of Anderson's division. There, troops that vacated to reinforce Sickles had left a half-mile gap near the Union center. The Union Army can be cut in two, but reinforcements via interior lines save the day. The exhausted rebels are pushed back. Other Confederates renew efforts to capture Little Round Top, entering what comes to be called the Valley of Death. They too are thrown back. The fighting finally ceases.
What's the? Although I walked through you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you know the thing.
I have no idea what
I
you're
walked
talking
through the
about.
Valley of the Shadow of Death. I fear no evil, for God is with me. You know that?
Okay.
Oh,
I had no
anyway,
idea why you went there, but go ahead.
because they said Valley of Death.
And you went there. You leaped there. Okay.
Is on the south end
My brain is about to.
of the battlefield.
It's because you were up all
In
night.
what General Longstreet termed the best 3 hours fighting ever done by any troops on any battlefield. More than 14,000 men became casualties of war. And the battle is far from over. At dusk, General Ewell moves on the Union right. Two of Jubal Early's brigades sweep toward Cemetery Hill, obscured by the gathering darkness. The Union line is thinly held by battle-weary 11th Corps soldiers. Louisianans and North Carolinians overwhelm them.
It's because of the Louisianans. Those are people not to mess with.
Damn straight.
Snafu, what is it? You know what I'm talking about. Type it in chat for me. So I don't
Actually,
look
Linda
stupid.
did, I
I'll have
think.
to look it up. Damn it. 23rd song. No, nobody typed it. Somebody type it. It's a text cover.
Portions of East Cemetery Hill are captured. Meade's army will lose the battle if Cemetery Hill falls. But Union reinforcements surge onto the hill before Confederates can exploit their gains. Early's men are thrown back as General Edward Johnson's division moves to attack Culp's Hill. Most of the breastworks on Culp's Hill are empty, their brigades sent to reinforce Sickles. Only 1,300 Union soldiers under General George Sears Greene remain to face Johnson's attacking 4,500.
Wow. So they were significantly overmatched.
You couldn't tell that from the pictures.
Well, no, because they had some back here. Why didn't these guys come help? That's what I'm talking about. Not very well set up.
No, it's a
That's
fly-by-night
not what it is.
operation. Bunch of
Well, it was
rednecks.
a fight for the United States. They should have done more to make it, work.
Okay.
I didn't see what you put here.
I didn't put anything.
No, Vicky said,
Oh,
"Is
okay.
that what you wanted, Lady?" No, I didn't see it. Unless, can you not put prayers on YouTube? That would be odd.
Well, she probably couldn't put
Yeah.
a link.
I walk through the valley of death. I fear no evil. Thy rod and staff, they comfort me. Yeah, that's not at all how I remember it. But, anyways,
Well, you should stop watching Doom. Because he says it differently.
the only thing I watch is
I know, you're lying.
Greene's
I
men
know,
hold
I know.
firm against numerous nighttime assaults, but some of Johnson's men gain a foothold in the abandoned trenches on the lower hill. By 10 p.m., the day's fighting comes to a halt. The past 2 days have borne 37,000 casualties. By now, Gettysburg is the bloodiest battle of the war. And another day of horrible combat is yet to come.
I'm good. I respect your choice of religion, but I'm good. Thank you, though.
Can you even touch a Bible without it, like, singeing your fingers?
I went into a church one time and I regret it. I thought for sure I was going to burst into flames. I'm not even kidding. I was like,
I'm surprised you did.
I'm shocked.
Somebody sent it on Discord
What is
to you.
it?
Snafu, I think.
Oh, okay. That's what he said. That's cool. Oh, that's really cool, Kizzy.
Did you find whatever the hell you were looking for?
No. We're winging it.
I'm on stream with you
General
and I can't
Lee
even
sees
keep
an
you in check.
opportunity, hoping to take Culp's Hill in a morning assault. He adds 3 brigades to bolster his left, but General Meade has ordered the return of the 5 brigades that left Culp's Hill to aid Sickles. Bolstered by a stream of reinforcements, Lee is badly outnumbered. For 7 hours, the battle rages. Initial Union attacks are stymied, including an ill-fated move near Spangler's Spring. But by 11 a.m., the Union numbers weigh too heavily, and the Confederates are forced out of their captured entrenchments. Lee now orders a massive assault upon the Union center. General George Pickett leads the only fresh division in Lee's army, and he forms the core of the attack under Longstreet's command.
Perfect part to start. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for art thou with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, there we go.
It's not blah, blah, blah. No, there is no blah, blah,
Blah,
blah.
blah, blah. Something, something.
Good grief.
Potential. Amen. I'm not making
You
fun
cannot put an amen on blah, blah, blah.
of
What does the matter with you?
Oh,
My God, you're going to hell.
great meme. You know who that is, right?
Huh?
You know, never mind.
I'm still trying to pray for your salvation over here. I have no idea what you're doing.
I'm trying not to get into this conversation because I'm trying not to make fun of anybody's religion.
Y'all need to pray for meat.
I truly respect your
Pray for
choices.
this man.
It's not for me. So, but I
Yeah,
respect
I know
you.
better. I know better. We have salvation
ready.
in you.
Having anticipated such a move the night before, he is
A man and a woman.
Amen.
And a woman. It's close. See, AP's got me. It's close. We're just gonna, and I appreciate it, Linda. I truly do, and I completely respect your freedom of your religion, and mine is a little different than everybody else's.
We're not going to talk about that.
Don't encourage her.
Look, I got the whole chat praying for you.
I know, and now we're sidetracked again. God damn it!
I didn't do it. I did not do it.
I think that it's important to have upstanding moral character and
You hush, sleazy.
do things the right way. and be a good person, and everything works out in the end. I don't believe that I have to go anywhere or do anything special. I just have to be a good person. So. Excalibur won't pray for me, and Belander says, "Screw you, mighty."
Yeah, I saw that.
See, this is why I hate Belanders.
Is the first Union Army commander to decisively outguess Robert E. Lee. At 1 p.m., Lee bombards the Union defenses, hoping to soften them up. Meade responds, and together, they create the largest artillery barrage in the Western Hemisphere. Ultimately, Lee's bombardment fails. Nevertheless, Pickett's attack commences at 3 p.m. 12,000 men emerge from Seminary Ridge. They must cross 1 mile of open ground. Union artillery opens at long range and tears gaps in the Confederate line. Meade orders more than 20,000 reinforcements to converge upon the center. Ohio, New York, and Vermont troops position themselves upon the flank of the Confederate.
Ohio troops are about as worthless as the statues that people are trying to take down.
Advance.
Why did you leave me alone on the stream, you goof?
I had to do something. I put my camera on.
Don't do that, you scare me.
The Confederates are moving into a great pincer of Yankees.
Seriously?
Hmm?
No, I'm not. Am I? See, I never. Linda, am I still up? Because it looks like I'm still up.
No, I think he's talking
Yes,
about
I'm
when you
still-
yeeted yourself from the stream.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Don't do that, guys.
The Southerners enter rifle range.
What I heard.
Fewer than half cross the Emmitsburg Road. But with second and third line troops coming up, some manage to breach the Union position. A ferocious melee ensues. As tens of thousands of Union reinforcements arrive, the Confederate attackers dwindle.
So they brought in extras and pushed them back.
Lee's men don't stand a chance. Those who cross the stone wall are either killed or captured. Lee's great moment of opportunity has become his greatest defeat by far. Scarcely half of the men who made the attack return to Seminary Ridge.
Okay, that's. So I broke 7 out of 10. I'm sorry. I repent. I forgot about that one though. 7 out of 10.
As events unfold in the center, cavalrymen are active on the flanks. In hopes of threatening the Union rear, Confederate General Jeb Stuart's horsemen try to swing around the Union Army. They are stopped east of Gettysburg by Union cavalrymen under General David M. Gregg. General George Custer leads a charge of Michiganders that highlights the repulse.
Of course, Michigan saved the day. Of course, Michigan saved the day.
Yeah, you keep thinking that.
South of Gettysburg, Union cavalry hit the Confederate flank and rear with no success. Charge and countercharge produced no real result for either side. The Battle of Gettysburg is over. Lee has lost, but remains on the field. He hopes to repulse a counterattack on July 4th to even the odds.
Lee was, yes, he was a pretty good figure in history too. Like he was a smart guy, good general. Of course, cancel mob got to him, but other than that, like I think he's one of the names that need to be remembered.
Meade does not take the bait. That night, Lee pulls back through the mountains to the Potomac River. His lumbering wagon train of wounded is miles long.
Wow.
Meade plans to attack, but Lee's river position is too strong. The Army of Northern Virginia, beaten as it had never been beaten before, moves back into Virginia. And the war will go on another 21 months.
Such a long war.
In the battle's wake,
No, we're not listening to Gettysburg because I want to give that. So this is a Civil War bullet from Gettysburg, and they're incredibly big. I tried to get a 9mm to compare, but Mystic's not paying attention to me as usual. For the record. So that's what it
What'd
looks
you
like.
pick on, Mystic?
It's a pretty good sized bullet. Really good aerodynamics. So, and it's heavy. So I weighed it. I got this out to weigh it.
Meaty, what were they made of again? Because I read it, but it didn't stick. But there was something in the
Lead.
bullet itself. Okay, the lead was poisoning them.
Yeah. So lead poisoning. So it's 31 grams or 1.9 ounces. So this is an ounce, a little bit over an ounce. So that's quite a bit to be flying down the barrel. So they would do some damage, and they did to many. So, big, heavy projectile. Okay, so Adams County, Pennsylvania, July 1st, 1863 to July 3rd, 1863. The Battle of Gettysburg marked the turning point of the Civil War. With more than 50,000 estimated casualties, the three-day engagement was the bloodiest single battle of the conflict. Pennsylvania rifle? Yeah, lead poisons you slowly.
No, for some reason I had thought that there was some mercury or something that was mixed in with the lead or the content. Somehow, I don't know. I saw it quickly and it moved on.
The gentleman I purchased it from said, "Don't touch it." So.
Well, you were just touching it.
No, that didn't happen. Yeah, talk about stopping power. Yeah, 50 cal. So, big bullet. Oh, I have a measuring device right here. I mean, it's about 1.5 inches wide, which is huge. And then it's 2.5 inches long. So that is a big projectile. So good chance the lead was contaminated with mercury. So anyways.
Damn it, I lost myself again. I don't know how long I've been away.
Did you fall asleep?
No, I unplugged the camera because it's easier that way. Good chance the lead was contaminated with mercury. No, I didn't know that a Pennsylvania was a type of rifle. That sounds really hot. Maybe it's just me. Cody's Lab on YouTube has a mine here in Utah. Mostly gets lead and mercury. I love Cody's Lab. I want to meet that guy one day. I think we'd get along. The Battle of Gettysburg marked the turning point of the Civil War with more than 50,000 estimated casualties. The three-day engagement was the bloodiest single battle of the conflict.
I already said that. Just saying.
Moving. How it ended. Union victory. Gettysburg ended a Confederate General Robert E. Lee's ambitious second quest to invade the North and bring the Civil War to a swift end. The loss there dashed the hopes of the Confederate States of America to become an independent nation. In context, after a year of defensive victories in Virginia, Lee's objective was to win a battle north of the Mason-Dixon line in hopes of forcing a negotiated end to the fighting. His loss at Gettysburg prevented him from realizing that goal. Instead, the defeated general fled south with a wagon train of wounded soldiers straining toward the Potomac. Union General Meade failed to pursue the retreating army, missing a critical opportunity to trap Lee and force a Confederate surrender. The bitterly divisive war raged on for another 2 years. He has so much mercury.
Focus me.
On some gallium. But anyways, that's a different. Before the battle, on June 3rd, soon after the celebrated victory over Major General Joseph Hooker at the Battle of Chancellorsville, General Robert E. Lee leads his troop north in a second invasion of enemy territory. The 75,000-man army of Northern Virginia is in high spirits. In addition to seeking fresh supplies, the depleted soldiers look forward to availing themselves of food from the bountiful fields in Pennsylvania farm country, sustenance the war-ravaged landscape of Virginia can no longer provide. I don't think so either. That's why I haven't gotten any yet, Blanders. Hooker heads north, but he is reluctant to engage with Lee directly after the Union's humiliating defeat at Chancellorsville. The evasiveness is of increasing concern to President Abraham Lincoln. Hooker is ultimately relieved of his command in late June. They found a new Hooker. His successor, Major General George Gordon Meade, continues to move the 90,000-man army of the Potomac northward, following orders to keep his army between Lee and Washington, D.C. Meade prepares to defend the routes to the nation's capital if necessary, but also pursues Lee. On June 15th, 3 corps of Lee's army crossed the Potomac, and by June 28th, they reached the
Susquehanna
River in Pennsylvania. That's not how I would pronounce it. While Lee
I just told you how to pronounce it.
No, I appreciate it. While Lee loses precious time awaiting intelligence on Union troops' positions from his errant cavalry commander, General Jeb Stuart, a spy informs him that Meade is actually very close, taking advantage of major local roads which conveniently converge at the county seat. Lee orders his army to Gettysburg. I have no idea what the hell she's doing up there. Sounds terrible.
Excuse me? I'm not doing anything.
Nothing. No, I'm talking to myself.
Okay, you're supposed to keep the inside voices inside your head.
No. Let him out. Let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. During the battle, forces engaged 165,620, 93,921 Union soldiers, 71,699 Confederate soldiers. This is a recap, general recap. Carbine version of the rifles also. That's cool. Huh.
Maybe.
Uh,
You have no idea what Lord of the Rings is, but you know Frozen.
yeah, I have. I'm not going to share that right now. Anyways,
You have issues, is what you have.
very many issues. You don't even know the half of it. July 1st, early that morning.
Unforgivable.
Early that morning, a Confederate division under Major General Henry Heth marches towards Gettysburg to seize supplies. In an unplanned engagement, they confront Union cavalry. Brigadier General John Buford slows down the Confederate advance until the infantry of the Union 1 and 4 Corps under Major General
That's
John F.
1
Reynolds.
and 11.
It is 1 and 11, isn't it? 1 and 11. Under Major John F. Reynolds arrives. Reynolds is killed in action. KIA. Soon, Confederate reinforcements under Generals A.P. Hill and Richard Ewell reach the scene. By late afternoon, the wool-clad troops are battling ferociously in the sweltering heat. 30,000 Confederates overwhelm 20,000 Federals, who fall back through Gettysburg and fortify Cemetery Hill south of town. On the second day of battle, the Union defends a fishhook-shaped range of hills and ridges south of Gettysburg. The Confederates wrap up the Union position in a longer line. That afternoon, Lee launches a heavy assault commanded by Lieutenant General James Longstreet on the Union left flank. This is the same thing that was in the video, this part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to skip the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for looking out.
I'm just here coasting along.
51,112 casualties. So
Yeah, they
that
keep
is-
changing the numbers.
yeah, I mean,
Well, a lot of places will say 50,000, a lot of places will say 51,000. So it was a lot of freaking people.
yeah.
And when you consider that the battle was only 3 days out of the entire, 6 or 7 years of the campaign?
Yeah.
3 days took that many people.
Yeah, it was one hell of a fight. What can men do against such reckless hate? Let me show you, Sleazy. Blah, blah, blah. So, about a third of the people died in this battle.
Mystic,
So 20.
he's not allowed to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning with Hayden anymore, okay?
I do every night.
Yeah, one more coffee next time.
I don't drink coffee. But anyways,
More
my
Jolt
brain's
then.
just fried today because I was planning the trial and had all this stuff planned out, and then it didn't work. 23,049 Union troops and 28,063 Confederates. So the Confederates lost about 5,000 more guys. Yeah, it was the bloodiest battle of the war. So the world will, little note, no longer remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us living rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. So there's a lot of key people in this battle of Gettysburg too. Like, this is where the powerhouses all went to. This was a major battle. It was a major engagement all the way around. So I am going to I'm going to read the Gettysburg Address from former President Abraham Lincoln, and then I'm going to toss it over to Impish, and she's going to talk about ghosts.
Am I? Okay.
Oh, I thought you were. Are you not?
Well, we've pretty much exhausted my link there, or my list. There is a link to a video, and I think one more, one or two more places that are pretty haunted, but it's going to be relatively short.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do that, and we'll wrap up with this.
Okay. Whatever you want to do.
I gotta find you.
Since there's been a lot of reading, pull up the video. It's really short. And I don't remember if it loops or not, but the video was taken by some visitors to Gettysburg. I'm not exactly sure what part they were looking at. And I seen a longer version of it, but I could not find it for this episode.
It's like a really short video. Okay.
Yeah, but you can actually see what looks to be something moving in the trees. And I have no reason whatsoever to think that this was falsified. I mean, it may be completely explainable.
Huh. There was a light.
I don't see nothing down it. Can't be the motorcycle, honey.
Yeah, there's something over there too.
What is that? Tree? No. You lived it, right?
You want to keep a lookout on the left-hand side of the screen.
Right there. See it?
That's on.
Look. Look. Isn't it those people? Can't be.
There's nobody.
Not up in the trees.
There's nobody down there no more. See?
Huh. That's kind of weird.
Put them on the train and
Yeah, let me bring my thing back up. Okay, we already talked briefly about Devil's Den. Devil's Den was the area that had some real heavy fighting on day 2.
Mhm.
And it's believed to be one of the most active areas of the battlefield. Witnesses report of hearing drums, gunshots. There's been camera misfunctions, and there's even been people who swear that they've had items pulled from their hands. And some people, now this one I find a bit sketchy, but some people have reported that there's a friendly soldier that they've had conversations with, but he never shows up in photographs, and he'll often disappear kind of quickly.
Okay.
You already showed the Devil's Den picture.
Yeah. I
And
know.
then there's the Daniel Lady Farm, which sits on approximately 146 acres. Now, on July 1st, the Union's 1st Division of the 12th Corps Army of the Potomac, commanded by General Alpheus Williams, arrived at the farm, intending to secure nearby Banner Hill. Problem was that General Johnson's division was coming up quick behind him, and this was a Confederate regiment. And they had problems. This is the battle at Culp Hill. So the Lady family had actually stayed in the house, even though they were told to leave. It was occupied by the Confederate troops. And what ended up happening with this house, this farm, it became a makeshift hospital where amputations and deaths were occurring quite often. And this is what I was talking about before, that bullet wounds were not only poisonous, they normally resulted in the amputation of whatever limb was affected.
Right.
In this house that is still standing, it is now owned, I think, by the federal government that bought it. But it's a protected landmark now.
Right.
There are actually graffiti from the soldiers, soldiers who carved their initials in the wooden pillars in the walls. Some carved their names. There are cannonball fragments lodged in the joists of this building. In 2007, they were testing essentially luminol to see how far back that they could trace. Luminol could trace blood particles and human fluids.
Yeah.
And they found blood stains all throughout the house.
Wow.
It was visited by General Lee and General Early. And apparitions of troops can sometimes be seen wandering the farmland as if still on patrol.
That's
So
cool.
the whole area is like really, if you've ever stood next to one of those wind turbines, you feel like a generation of energy off of it, almost like a vibration. Well, in certain places in Gettysburg, sometimes you will actually feel that. What it is, I don't know. But if you're curious about, or just like ghosts and interesting, this is supposed to be one of the most haunted places in the United States, even more haunted than Louisiana.
Wow, that's cool. Huh.
Yeah.
Excomer, the Battle of Antietam fought on September 17th, 1862, is widely considered to be the bloodiest single day of the American Civil War. And that may be true, but this is over 3 days, so I don't buy it. Orlando, Florida is terrible sometimes. Yes, it is incredibly eerie. Blanders, you are 100% right. Mini rant. I was going through my stuff last night. So I have 1,000 unique viewers that have not subscribed to my videos. 1,000 unique viewers. If you're watching on a replay crew, which most of them were, hit that like, hit that sub. It helps out so much. Pitch over. It's reported that you can still. I believe it. It was such an eerie thing. Dance. You don't have to smoke again. You don't want to lose again, brother. That's cool. I was gonna ask that question, but Impish would yell at me. When she said Lady Farm in the 1800s, I thought this is a whorehouse, but it could have been possible. Like, don't get disgusted with me. We're talking about
It was a field hospital.
I understand that, but with the
The
name,
family's name. It was the family's name.
that's cool, man. Probably owned by the state or the government or whatever.
Let's see, orphanage. We already talked about that.
I'm
Like I
not
said, you were
clairvoyant.
pretty much done with my stuff. It's all you now.
Pronounce what name?
How am I teasing? What am I
name did
doing?
Pronounce incorrectly. No, I think he's saying quit teasing. I'm not teasing. Am I being nice?
Oh, okay.
Like, legitimately? I think I'm being nice.
It's hard to read the print on this little freaking screen. I'm on my phone, so it's really
Oh.
hard. Because you told me to get off the computer, so I'm on my phone now.
No, I told you could get on the computer, but just bring up freaking streamers. Yes, that's Impish. Yes, he's saying, Mighty Me, stop teasing Impish. I didn't think I was.
Thank you. You always tease me.
That's a true statement, Dance. The house was with cannon, bits, balls, and bullets, still less than the average house in Chicago. 100%. All right, so... Shit. I just did that.
That's
Oh,
3
I
for
mean-
you.
It's my show. I gotta say shit if I want to. It's my party. I'll say shit if I want to.
You're not going to get me to sing.
Well, Bobby, the only person I'm fighting is you, Bobby. And I got a bigger stick that I printed. So we'll finish up here by reading the Gettysburg Address. Did you have anything else to add before we get into that? Or
No, I'm good.
no, you're good. Okay. So we'll read this, and then that'll be it for Gettysburg for us. Every Brit knows about Chirac. I don't know what that means. So this was given by Abraham Lincoln. 70 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. I'm going to stop reading it like Lincoln. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation, so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. Why are there two that's? It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will note, nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they fought here, have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take the increased devotion to that cause for which they gave their last full measure of devotion. That we were here highly resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. I read it like it said. It's hard to read because they spoke differently.
Yeah, okay.
They did speak differently.
I think it's been a while since you read it.
Well, that's also true, but they also spoke differently. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my presentation on Gettysburg. I think it's a cool place. I think it's a place that you should certainly go visit if you get the opportunity. If not, make the opportunity.
Yeah, whether you go for the history or for the ghosts.
Yeah. Or go because it's really close to Hershey, Pennsylvania, and you can stop and get a good damn chocolate.
Heck yeah.
Shut up, Belandris.
Thank you for having me on, Nate.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm going to shill the rest of the upcoming here. So, where were we last time? Oh, tomorrow we have electromagnetism. Jesus, if I can talk. And Tuesday night is the State of the Union address with the former Vice President Joseph Robinette Biden. So I'll be covering that live and giving live reaction.
Why?
Because I want to make fun of him. It
Rumble?
will be Rumble exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to make fun of him.
Are you streaming tonight?
I don't know. I haven't decided
Yes.
yet.
That means yes.
No, probably not. Yes. So thank you so much for stopping by. Please hit that like on your way out. I will see you all. I don't know if Hayden's having a show, but if Hayden doesn't have a show, I'll see you guys at 8:30 tonight. If not, I'll see you in Hayden's chat first. Thank you so much. Love you all. and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.